Shalom, my dearest friends from all over the world. Thank you for joining me for another shir from ilovetorah.com. I want to tell you a holy story that we can all learn from to become better people and to become a stronger nation. As you know, many of my discussions, I speak about the importance of Ahavas Yisrael, the love of our fellow Jews. And this one in particular is a very moving story that I have to tell that will help us to realize the importance of this mitzvah and essential parts of our nature that we must work on. The story begins in the times of the holy Rav Shmelka, that he was in a synagogue while it had transpired that the rabbi of the synagogue, his wife, had taken ill. And for many days she was sick, and the congregation fasted and prayed, and the rabbi was very, very concerned for her. And he had fallen asleep in his office, and no one wanted to bother him when even the news came in that the Rebbitzin had recovered fully, and the messenger was waiting till he had awoken, because we're not supposed to wake up a rabbi, and for that matter, we really shouldn't wake up any person from their sleep unless they ask us to, because Chazal teaches that by doing so is as if we're stealing. We're stealing from that person their sleep, which is important to them. And so we're over on a lav. So, in this case, they had waited outside patiently. But they were not expecting the rabbi to come out with a smile on his face. So they were taken back when the rabbi came out and said, Baruch Hashem, my wife has recovered. And then he went back into his office. And they looked at each other. What is going on here? You didn't tell him. Did you tell him? Nobody here told him that his wife had recovered. So why is the rabbi so happy? Why? How was he able to know this information? So the holy Rav Shmelka of Nikolsburg, he said, I know the story here behind this, but in order to tell you, I need permission from the person who it really is about. And so he asked someone to please summon the rabbi's son. So someone went to go get the rabbi's son. The rabbi's son comes back into the shul, and he tells everyone, I'm going to share with you my story. As a young man, it was my dream to see the holy prophet Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah. And one reason it was is because I saw that something was very strange about my father. That sometimes I would knock on the door and I heard voices, and he would act strangely, as if even when he was telling me the Torah, he was alluding to the fact that Eliyahu Hanavi had taught him this, that he had seen him. But I was never worthy of this, and it really upset me. You know, friends, it was a goal of every rebbe and every rabbi to be taught and to meet the holy prophet. We are told that every circumcision that takes place in all the world, that Elijah comes to that circumcision, and he sees it, he gives an amen, and his blessing, and we don't necessarily see him physically, but spiritually he's there. This is because Elijah the prophet went up to heaven in a chariot of fire. His top student Elisha had saw this, was a witness to this. And they say about Elisha that he had double wisdom because of this, because he was able to see his master go in this way with such holiness. So Elijah the prophet became an angel, the few to be in human form, to then be so pure, to go up as an angel. But Elijah's love for Hashem, his passion for the Torah, was so strong. He said that he was lovesick for Hashem. Very few have said it to such an extent and meaning as he has. And therefore he was worthy of this. But we too can be passionate about the Torah. We too should be passionate about our love for Eliyahu Hanavi. And this is why. So my father told me, he admitted to me that he had seen Eliyahu Hanavi. And so one day, as I became older and more mature in my learning and self, I went to my father and I said, Father, it's been bothering me for so long. My dream is to see Eliyahu Hanavi, and I want to know how to do this. So his father told him that if he fasted for 40 days, and he would eat at night, and he fasted for 40 days, then he too would see Elijah the prophet. As there's a saying amongst the Kabbalists that this is one of the ways, I believe it's from Rabbi Chaim Vital, I saw it, that is one of the ways, hidden ways, to see Eliyahu Hanavi. More so by, I wouldn't say by force, but through this actions of purity, and of course going to the mikveh daily, and working on oneself, one would then see Elijah the prophet. This is a promise given by the holy sages and Kabbalists. Well, let's see what happens when the rabbi's son tries this out. Now, I must say beforehand, just in case I forget to say it at the end, do not do this. It is not wise to fast. Our bodies are weaker than in the generations of Rav Shmelka and the other great rabbis. We're told not to do this. It is not healthy, and it generally is not possible. So therefore, the ways of today are through joy and simcha, and there are other ways to see the Holy Prophet, if you know the art, the wisdom in this matter. But we will go on to this another time, maybe, or maybe not, if I am told from Hashem to address it. So, one day goes by, I fast, 2 days, 3 days, finally, the 40th day, and I've worked so hard to see Eliyahu Hanavi. So I go into my father and I say, Father, I'm now at the 40th day. What do I do? I'm ready to see Eliyahu Hanavi, Father. So his father told him that tonight, go to the synagogue and close all the doors, and you must be alone in the synagogue. You can close the doors that no one should enter. And tonight you will see the Holy Prophet, because you've earned it through the holy secrets of fasting 40 days. And so, that night, I waited for everyone to leave after Marav, after they've prayed. And I encouraged them. I said, "It's go home now. We're closing the synagogue a little earlier." And people were very surprised at me. What do you mean we're closing the synagogue early? And people fought with me. And I told them, just tonight alone, I have permission from the rabbi to close up the shul earlier. And so, an older gentleman who's there every night, he says, "I'm going to tell your father about this. I don't like this behavior of you. Who closes a synagogue like this?" But he leaves, nonetheless, with patience and an open mind, somewhat. I mean, he wasn't going to be confrontational, but he was very upset. And a few people left in this way. But still the son was worthy of seeing Eliyahu Hanavi. But the story goes as follows. 1 hour passed, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours passed, and then there I am. I'm waiting to see the Holy Prophet. I've worked so hard. I'm praying. I'm learning Torah. And there's a knock at the door. And it's some man, and he says, "Please, I would like to come in the synagogue. I've been traveling. I would like to rest. I'm sorry, the synagogue is closed tonight. You can't come in. Please go down the hall, down the street to a lodge." And so the man goes. A few hours later, it's beginning to the snow outside. It's a blizzard, and another person comes to the door, and this person he didn't know. The first person he had known that person, and he told him to go to the inn. The person left, but this was a complete stranger, an older fellow, with a knapsack on his back, bent over as a hunchback, and so he knocked at the door. And I said, I'm sorry, sir, but the synagogue is closed tonight. You can't come in. But please, I'm cold. I'm so hungry, I'm cold. It's too cold out here. Don't you see it's blizzard? Please let me in the synagogue, please, sir. I'm sorry, but tonight the synagogue is closed. Only I am permitted to be here. I'm very, very sorry, sir. The man goes to the window. Please, let me in. I need to come in, please, I'm freezing. I'm sorry, sir. And he closes the blinds. So, another hour passes. And another hour. And soon it's becoming morning. People are knocking on the synagogue door to come in for Vizikin, the first prayer at the light of the day. And so, I finally realized that it doesn't seem like Elijah is going to visit me. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. So I unlocked the door. And I was so sad. I had worked for 40 days. What have I done wrong? I don't understand. What happened. I did exactly what my father said. The synagogue is closed. No one's in here. Elijah should see me. What's going on? So I went to my father the next day. And I said, Father, I'm so upset. I'm not worthy of seeing Elijah the prophet. Or what did I do wrong? I should fast another day. Tell me what to do. And so the father says to him, what do you mean? Of course you saw Elijah the prophet. We were told of this from our sages. The person who fasts for 40 days will see the holy prophet. Of course you saw him. Tell me what happened. No, Father, I didn't see him. I was there the entire night, as you said. Synagogue was closed, and no one came in. I'm sorry, son. Please tell me the events of the entire night. So I began to tell everyone what happened. I began to tell my father what happened. That people had finished Marv, and I had asked them, I encouraged them to please leave. They were a little upset with me, but it wasn't too confrontational. And, that was it. And I was there till morning. Son, I'm sorry, but something else happened. Did anyone else come? Well, I do remember that there was one person from the town that was looking to come in. I ushered him away, told him to go to the inn. But then there was another man, when it was blizzard outside, he was banging on the door. He wouldn't stop. And he was so upset with me. And I told him, I'm sorry, I can't let you in. He was banging at the window. My son, please tell me, what did he look like? Father, he had a knapsack on his back, and he was hunched over. He was an older man. My son, you will never see Eliyahu Hanavi like this. You will never see him. You have to change your ways. When I told you to lock up the synagogue and to be there yourself, it didn't mean at the expense of other Jews, if other Jews had to suffer. Elijah the prophet doesn't come to someone who is not kind to other Jews, who would make a man suffer. No, that was your test, that this man came, and you didn't open the door, but you know who that man was? That was him. That was Elijah the prophet, and you wouldn't even open the door for him, because you were worried about you. You were concerned about me. My son, I'm very disappointed in you. You're fasting for 40 days. It wasn't pure. You would never see Elijah the prophet when your love for your fellow Jews is so weak. My son. And so, my friends, this is how I know the greatness of my father. That he saw Eliyahu Hanavi often, and he taught him Torah because he was a worthy man. And I am still ashamed at my actions, that I was not worthy to see the Holy Prophet. And this is, my friends, why you can believe that my father knew that his wife was well, that my mother was well and recovered, because he is a holy man, visited by the holy prophet Elijah. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Agiladi, B'mehera Yavo Elaynu Mashiach ben David. Ay, Hashem Yisborach, my Tata in Himmel. May it be soon that all of us are worthy to see Eliyahu Hanavi in the coming of the Mashiach. And may we grow in our avodas Hashem, that we should never put ourselves before another Jew. And our first thought when we wake up and when we go to sleep at night is how we can help another person to come closer to Hashem and to be less in pain in this difficult and trying world that we live in today. Thank you. And I now must ask you, my friends, that if you enjoy these videos, please have in mind that it's very taxing to do them without your support. I'll continue the best I can to do so, but we work on donations only, and we can't continue to make these possible when sometimes it's so difficult using not the latest technology and equipment available to the world. Thank you.
Almoyim, Telekol Rovim, Adenoi, Amayim Rabim, Kol Adenoi Bakoach, Kol Adenoi Bahoder, Kol Adenoi, Shober Razim, Veshaber Adenoi, as Arze Halavona, Yakidei, Maigel Levon Masira, Kamabim, Kol Adenoi Chosev, Lahavos Eish, Kol Adenoi, Yochid Miboy, Yochil Adenoi Mibai Kodesh, Kol Adenoi Cholos, Yechasov Yoros, Vechlo, Kulon Kavoy. Adenoi, the Mabul Yosho, Vayishav Adenoi, Melech Lodom, Adenoi Oz, La'am Yitin, Adenoi Vorech, Es Am